Well, hello, everybody watching. Thanks for being here. It's your friend James Shaw. Trust you're doing okay. And you know what we like to do? I love talking to agents who are doing awesome things. Today, I get to talk to somebody that is legit elite level talent. Christina Ward in Boise, Idaho. There are some amazing agents in Boise, Idaho, and
There
you and your
are.
husband have an amazing team in Boise, Idaho. And I'm excited to talk with you because you made a post on Facebook that got me excited, and I learned a lot from it. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. And it was just some few tips on how you've built an abundant life. So we're going to talk about how
Oh,
you've built an abundant life, and then later this week you're going to go much more in depth with this in our Inspire Mastermind community. So if anyone out there wants to go deeper on this, then reach out to me. I can tell you how you can join Inspire and get on that call too. But first, Christina, introduce yourself to everybody.
James, you're like my hero. So I'm so honored that you said that I inspired you. That's an honor. I'm Christina Ward. I'm in Boise, Idaho. Sold real estate for 18 years since college. So it's my only job. I'm going to die being a realtor, I guess, and a mom. Number one, mom and wife, then realtor. Those are my only three jobs. And my little team is small yet mighty. We sell about 130 homes by referral. We will sell 130 homes this year by referral, repeat, and we've done over 100 since Spencer was born. So Spencer was born in 2014. So we've sold over 100 homes since 2014.
Every year, 100 homes every year since 2014.
Yeah,
And
maybe even 13. I can't remember. It's
that's
fuzzy.
amazing. Yeah, I mean, it's a great business. And what I've always been, I've gotten to know you and your husband over the years. I've done Bold out there, and I've done some shift stuffs out there. And I love your market center. I think your Boise Market Center is one of the most elite market centers on the planet, and just got great people in it. But what I love about you is this: you just show up and do the work, and it pays off. You're not super flashy. You're not look at me. You're just let's go help people. And I think it's amazing and something we can learn from. And so that's what we're going to talk about. You did this post in November that talked about how you live an abundant life. You said nobody succeeds alone, and you had some 5 thoughts on how you live an abundant life. And so I just want to go through them. And then, like I said, with our Inspire group, we're going to go deeper. But the first thing you said on how you live an abundant life is you've never been afraid to ask for what you want. So many people are. So why is that so important to living an abundant life?
Well, I used to be afraid to ask, and then in the Great Recession, I had nothing to do because I wasn't selling much real estate. So I joined a group called Team in Training. Have you heard of that group?
I'm not familiar, but it sounds awesome.
It is awesome. It's a running group that fundraises for cancer research. So I had all the time in the world, so I started training for marathons and fundraising, and I learned through fundraising that if you don't ask people to help, then you're not giving people an opportunity to say yes or no. And it's okay if they say no. So I asked everybody for money for a great cause because I believed in the cause. And in one day I received, back in the day, we didn't do like online fundraising. It was like mail. I feel like my glasses are.
Your glasses look great.
Okay, thanks. It was mail fundraising. So I got like checks in the mail, which was really fun. And I got it I only knew one millionaire at the time. That day I got a check from a millionaire for the Leukemia Lymphoma Society, and I got a check from my friend who was in grad school and really living month to month. And my friend gave me $100, and the millionaire gave me 50, or gave Leukemia Lymphoma Society 50. And what I learned from that is I gave both of them an option to contribute to a great cause, and it's okay. The result doesn't matter. And some people ignored it and never, or supported me like in other ways, not money. And some people really surprised me with how much they wanted to support the cause. And I really in the recession realized I need to start believing in myself as a realtor and asking for business. And so I started lead generating from that list. That was my database, my fundraising list.
That's amazing. I love it. And I love the aha you had about who gave what. Of course, we don't know who gives what to what and what motivates them to give. And yet both of them did and gave in different ways. And the aha was invite people in.
Yeah.
And so you've used that in your business. You've invited people in to have the chance to work with you, and you help them with their needs, which leads on to number 2. You said you've never been an opportunist. You just know that if you help enough people get what they want, you'll eventually get what you want. Talk with us about that. We've heard that. It's Zig Ziglar right there. So talk with us about that.
Well, I think of people as a long-term relationship, not a transaction. And I notice that some people look at, not on purpose even, they just look at people in a way where they could sell them something. And I would be disgusted if anyone felt that they were being sold hardcore from me and that I wanted something from them without giving first. And so I've always just felt like I need, it's my job to just help people. Like yesterday, I connected, somebody asked, they got my market update in an email and they said, these are so great. Could I get an update like this for my rental property, like a market, like a rental income update? And so instead of just saying, oh, here's my property manager, call them, like that's nice, right? Being a connector. But I really took the time to connect and help my property manager get business, hopefully, and then help my client get data and information that she needs. So I took the time to like send a link to the listing. Here's data about the house. Here's how important my client is. Here's how awesome this property manager is. I teach people how to refer because they don't know. People don't know how to refer like that. And it really helped her. She said, oh my gosh, you're amazing. You know who she's going to call when she needs to sell a house? Because
Yeah,
I've
you,
done
of
so
course.
much for her.
Right.
More than that, right?
Right.
But that's not why I do it. Like I want to help her and get her with the right people. And then it helps the property manager grow her world. And Tony Baroni in Orlando taught me that. He said, you teach people how to refer because they don't know how.
Yeah.
And so I'm constantly doing group texts, group emails, connecting in at a really high level. And the craziest thing is that I've taught my database to connect. So they text me like, hey, my neighbor is selling their house. Here's her name, her motivation, her address, her phone number. She's expecting your call and she knows that you're the only realtor to work with. And that's been like, you show people how to do it first. I can't expect, that's not their job to do that for me. So I've taught them how to do that.
I love that. That's really smart. And nothing better, right, than getting a text that says, my neighbor's ready to sell. She wants you to come bring your sign. Be ready to go.
Yeah.
And that's just because you've poured into people and helped them. You've helped connect them with others and they want to do the same thing back. It's a reminder that kind of whatever energy you send out is what's going to come right back to you. And that leads to number 3 on your thing. You said, even when times have been challenging, I look for the good. I live in gratitude. Christina, you have had Boise, Idaho, in the last 18 months has been one of the craziest markets on the country because you saw this rapid people moving in, and home prices skyrocketing. And then I go and look, and like over the summer, you were the number 1 market in the country in price reductions. Like it was just, it's been wild. So things have been crazy. Things have been tough at times. Things have been challenging, but you say you live in gratitude. How does one do that?
Well, what you focus on expands. So I might as well focus on, there's always something good going on. And we can't be in a negative state and a positive state at the same time. You're only in one or the other. So I really focus on, and I'm not saying that we don't have hard time. I haven't had hard times or there's not been really crappy things that have happened. But even in those hardest of times, like the Great Recession, I call it my rice and beans era, where Lane and I just barely made it through being a salesperson and he was a W-2 employee. I was realtor, little baby realtor. We looked at what we had instead of what we didn't have. And, Bold really helped me with that. I mean, I signed up for Bold after 6 months of no sales, 0 sales in 11 or something, one of those years, 2010-ish. And 0 sales. I sold a $75,000 house in March. 75 was not the commission, it was the house. We don't have those anymore, so don't call me about those. But then that little commission paid off a couple months of credit card bills. We had never been in debt before on anything, cars, only house debt, right? But we had gotten ourselves into a little bit of credit card debt. So we paid that back. And then I paid for Bold, what is it, $7.99? Whatever it is.
Yep, $7.99.
And Lane said, what are you doing? We have no money. And I said, well, I'm gonna have to go get a job, like a job. I wrote my resume. I'm starting to go on interviews. Like I can't sell real estate anymore. This is just let this be my last chance. And so Bold helped me change my mindset around how I show up as this in my job as a realtor, to lead generate, to do affirmations, to script practice and lead generate. And that April, Bold started. By that June, I sold 7 houses in a month. I had never sold 7 houses in a month before. And it was that fast. I did my 100 contacts, I did my affirmations. I actually did my affirmations with my partner for 2 years. And we became like the number one agents in the company probably from just that. And it was more that it wasn't just the contacts, it was the mindset from Bold that helped me get in the right place in the hardest of times for us.
It's great advice. And Lane's your husband, so people get confused. That's who she's talking about.
Yeah.
The thing about it that I find very interesting is we're in a market right now where you've seen a 30% decline in units across the country, and NAR's anticipating another decline in units next year. They're saying maybe a flattening a little bit in home prices. So your mindset's really going to matter. You get to pick what you focus on. You can focus on the fact that there's 2 million fewer transactions, or that there's still 5 or 4.5 million transactions for you to go get. There's going to be enough for you. Go get them. Great perspective. So that was number 3. Number 4, I'm always learning and teaching. I look for ways to improve, and I love finding models and systems to copy. That was your kind of 4th tip on how you built an abundant life. Talk to us about that.
Well, the Bold example is being in the classroom, and I've done it like 13 times. I don't know if I'm just like a slow learner or what, but every time I do Bold, there's like a Bold bump, and there's a lot of this. There was even a Bold where we did 20 transactions in a month for the first time. We've done that a few times since, but that was fun. And I notice when I show up and I teach, that in order to be in integrity and teach, even right now, I feel like I get to be a teacher, which is such an honor. Then I reflect on our conversation and I go, am I really doing all of that? Or did I used to do that and it needs to happen again? Or is there a better way? And so when I teach people, it's such accountability to be my very best. And I learn every time I get the opportunity to teach. I teach a class called 100 Homes by Referral. And then when I sit in the classroom, I remove my ego always and say, I'm here to learn 2 or 3 things. I'm here to take action immediately. Because when our ego gets in the way, we stop. That's the moment we're about to hear a nugget that could change our life, and we stop learning. When we say to ourselves, I've already heard that, I already know that, we cannot hear what we're supposed to hear for learning. And that's what in Bold, every time I've taken it, or every time I've taken business planning or career visioning, I'm a different person. And I'm like, yep, we're doing that. That's good. How can we level up something new, or what's something else we can add? And so it just makes me sad for people that say, oh, I've already taken that class, I'm not taking it again. I just feel really like sad for them.
I love it though, that you're always learning, implementing. It's good. Your last one, I work toward being present. And then you admit, I haven't mastered this yet, but I'm aware this is what makes life so fulfilling. Now, you brought this up. You're a wife, you're a mom, and you've got a business, a team that you're running that's doing north of 100 deals a year for nearly a decade now. How do you stay present in all of those things?
People. So it's leverage. It's hiring talent and leveraging through people and great systems. So everything we do in our business, we do it like, here's how we do it. There's a system behind it. There's like a game plan meeting before we list a home. There's a review of the first weekend meeting on Zoom. Like it is like our clients are telling us it's a well-oiled machine. It's a robotic machine in a box, and we put our heart around it. Because I can't put my heart into my team entrepreneurially anymore. I could do that if I did like 10 or 20 deals a year. 100% heart. I'm a good realtor. I'm a great realtor, actually. But when it gets to like, I'm responsible for about 65 listings a year, I can't be entrepreneurial like that anymore and even have any time with my family. So we put systems and people around everything. And recently, because I did feel like I wasn't quite my best self as a mom and a wife, I hired someone at home that was really helpful, and it was a house manager. And I kind of feel a little like embarrassed, like, why do I get this person? But she comes almost every day and she does my dishes and makes my bed
and
really
laundry. Important. Yeah, and those things should get done.
That's maybe the best, quickest leverage I've ever experienced to create presence, because I know I have some anxiety when I get home and there's a big mess and there's a lot of responsibilities. And then I'm just like the worst mom ever. and I want
Well,
to
you
come
get cranky and
home.
wound up because you just want to clean the kitchen. And why isn't
Yeah,
it clean already? And I've been working all day,
and I'm
and I
mad
really
about
don't want
it.
to go clean the kitchen right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I mean, Chris has really changed our life, and it's just 10 hours a week, and it's really created a peacefulness in our home
Yep.
where I could just go home and just be a mom and be a wife and not have any other responsibilities.
I love that. We're going to go deeper on these 5 things. So I'm going to recap them for everybody. This is Christina's how she's built an abundant life. Number 1, I've never been afraid to ask for what I want. Number 2, I've never been an opportunist. I just help enough people to get what they want, and eventually I get what I want. Number 3, even when times have been challenging, I look for the good. I live in gratitude. Number 4, I'm always learning and teaching. I look for ways to improve, and I love finding models and systems to copy. And number 5, I work toward being present. I haven't mastered this yet, but I'm aware that this is what makes life so fulfilling. We're going to go deeper on these things with our Inspire community this week on Wednesday, or on Tuesday rather. So I'm excited about that, and excited that you would spend some time. I think we might even learn a little bit about how do you get 100 referral deals a year and run a business that way. So thank you for doing a little preview with our pivot community and pouring into them. And then anybody who wants more with Christina, join us on Inspiring. You can DM me and I'll give you the details on how to join. Any final thoughts, Christina, before we wrap up?
No, I just think you're awesome. Honored to
I do
spend
too.
some
I think
time
you're
with
great
you.
too. Yeah, you're awesome. So thank you so much for joining us. And I trust everybody watching got value. Inspire members, we get an hour with her coming up. So we'll look forward to that. Thanks for being here. We'll see everybody soon. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Jay.